Man, what some good stuff in here. I should probably turn the music off because Griffin's going to want to pull this out.
Do you think so?
He's going to want to make a YouTube video out of it, you know? Weirdo. So, first of all, you guys got to see this the other day. Right now, we have none of the tools that are going to be available. All right? So, there is going to be stuff coming. That's exactly right, Shizman. Wave defense is built around the facade buff, Section 31 favors, so it's going to happen, all right? Obviously, I showed this off to you guys the other night. Man, I'm digging this. Hang on. I'm sorry. Shiz says, until we can get far enough in to starting getting the Section 31 favors, wave defense is going to be a little bit rough, but it'll get better. And I do agree, which is why I'm still advocating for some improvement to the rewards at the early levels, and I'm advocating for a buff improvement to the facade building at the early levels, kind of get you guys a little bit more firepower moving in. Jules Vern has been hard at work. Guys, you don't even know, man. I'd like to welcome to the stage, ladies and gentlemen, the mad scientist, Jules Vern. What's up, Jules? What you doing, man? Jules, how you doing? Good evening, buddy. How are you? Talk to us about wave defense. You have gone absolutely berserk in wave defense research here. Tell me a little bit about what it is that you're learning and what you think is important for the community to know.
Well, I think the first major point is that all wave defenses are static, which means you're going to face the exact same hostiles from the exact same spawn locations every single time when you do these wave defenses. So you can start planning and strategizing for that. We know what the loot table is. We were provided that on Monday before the arc, thankfully. We've obviously ascertained the hostile type since that wasn't given to us correctly at the very beginning. But if you go into deep dive wave info, you can see every single wave, every single hostile, the levels, the quantities, the positions on the clock, basically around the base of where those hostiles are going to come in. And we've even gone through and found the power for each of these hostile types and levels and the whole health.
Why would you be worried about the whole health, Jules?
You know, the main reason I started collecting it was for the board cube.
The board cube, which in hindsight definitely looks like it was kind of kept in mind when the designers were looking at wave defense, especially when we look at those little surveys that are coming in that are packed with dynamite. A tier 1 board cube can take out those surveys. Listen, I don't know that, strategy-wise, you'd want to have a bunch of board cubes in there, but maybe 1 or 2 might not be a bad thing, depending on who's bringing it. That might be one of those things that we talk about, Jules, where the smaller players are bringing in some of the specialty ships, and maybe that is something possible that could happen with the board cube. I don't know yet. We're still going to tinker with that a little bit. Talk to us a little bit about the wave and the pattern or the spawn rate. Here on the deep dive, you've got the quantities, you've got the clock position, but if I was a little bit more visual, tell me what I can look at here so that I can actually just, put up a little spinny clock in my studio and kind of rotate it around by wave.
We got a wave position map tab here now too. And this is courtesy of Sanguine Otter, one of your community members here.
What he has been able to ascertain here so far, looking at round 1, round 2, moving forward, and we are seeing, for example, this being the Frank A, we know that Swarm is coming in at the 1 o'clock position.
If you think about strategy on any sort of battlefield, what you're trying to do is you're trying to find where you have the tactical advantage. So, for instance, if you're the person that's going to bring in a Talios and a Frank A, well, all you care about is where does my Frank A need to be on the next round? Where does my Talios need to be on the next round? And if that is your role, then that is what you're going to be doing.
And really, if you were able to coordinate it, Jules, I would imagine that there's also a place for Strange New Worlds crew in here and faction ships to go after the triangle. Keep the triangle, because as we've discovered, survival is what we're finding to be the most important thing right now. And that means using every tactical advantage you've got, including the triangle, including exocomps, including specialty ships, and including making sure that the right ships are targeting the right positions, which is why these clock and these map positions are so vital. We have been talking about the impulse speed, but if you're equipped with the map as you're finishing a wave, you know what section of the map to go with next, even if it is a slower moving battleship. So using that, increasing your survivability, and using the triangle to your advantage, I think, is a deeper level of coordination, but one that will pay dividends.